And we're recording. Hey folks, Crusher Life and Real Estate, back to you with another video in our little home buyer series. This is more geared to those who have never been through the process, or maybe those who just want to know a little more. And today's topic is going to be appraisal, and you know what it is, why it's important, and what you can do to use it for your offer, or how it can help you in a sticky situation with your offer. Okay. So let's start off. What is an appraisal? An appraisal is where a professional, again, we're coming back to professionals. There's a lot of professionals involved in your real estate deals. It's just how it is. Who's been trained how to evaluate homes and what have you, is going to come out and do some basic things in the property, like do some measurements, take some photos, and then they're going to do an appraisal. And the appraisal is basically the value of the home if it were to be on the market. So what the appraisal contingency is going to do is that if the home comes in way under what you're offering, because that was the list price, let's say you made an offer at list price, so we'll call it for a round figure $300,000. It's a median average in the area, so that works out for me to kind of explain this. So let's say it comes in at $275. Well, that's substantially lower, and the appraisal is going to be the most amount you can get for a loan. So the bank's not going to give you any more than that. That's why appraisals are important. It's another one of those situations where you can exclude the appraisal contingency from your offer and still have the appraisal done, because you're not going to have a choice. The bank's going to make you get one. And then most lenders are going to make you get one. So it doesn't matter if it's a private or not. They want to know that their investment's worth the money that they're giving to you, right? So because essentially that's what they're doing. They're investing in your ability to purchase the home, and then you pay them back over time. They make some money off of you. That's kind of basically how it works. So you can skip the whole shebang with the whole appraisal contingency, but you kind of shoot yourself in the foot when you don't have some kind of protection, because that means that now you're responsible for that extra $25,000 in your offer. And if you were smart enough to at least have the financing contingency in there for that, you have ways out if you're stuck in a situation where you can't help yourself. But what you could have done in that appraisal contingency is you can do a custom languaged one. And I mean, again, this depends on your state and your agent if they know how to do this sort of thing. But in a custom appraisal contingency, you could have said something like, okay, if the appraisal is under the listed price, buyer's willing to pay $5,000 over appraised price, or whatever you're comfortable with offering, kind of thing, right? If it comes in over, you don't have to worry about it because the appraisal contingency is satisfied. So it's more or less that if it comes under, you give the option. Like a lot of my custom ones have something to do with, like, you'll pay up to $5 grand, 10 grand, 15, whatever it is, over the appraisal price, and it gives the option for the seller to either accept those terms or cancel the contract. And it gives the same thing to the buyer. So it's on both sides have the option to cancel the contract if they're not satisfied with how that comes back. So you got some protection there. But if you choose to use the appraisal contingency and put it as part of your offer, then you don't have to do it in that custom language. But you also, without doing some custom language somewhere, can't make the offer saying if it comes in this. So one way or another, you do end up doing some custom work somewhere, right? So I just think it's either do a custom contingency for the appraisal piece altogether. That way there's no confusion as to what takes precedence in the contract. Okay, makes sense? Most people can get by with just a regular one, so don't worry about it if your agent's not comfortable about it. You can talk to them about doing a custom type thing. They might not even know what they're supposed to do, and they'll have to go ask. I can't really help with that. They're not me. I don't know them, so it's kind of on their own, and this is kind of basic stuff they should know, is how to do this kind of thing. What else can I tell you about the appraisal stuff? So when you get the appraisal back, it's going to have some what they call comparables. We as agents do that all the time for when we're trying to get a listing for a potential seller. We want to give them enough information they can see, okay, these are what houses who are similar to yours, this is what it looks like on the market. So you'll actually see other properties that have recently sold in the area, and that's what the appraiser is going to use as kind of a where to fall in line there based on the square footage and the number of rooms, this, that, and the other. There's all kinds of things that go in there, and they will provide you a long report that you can read through and see all of their criteria and what their assessment is, and that appraisal will get registered, and it'll be part of the public record for the home, which is a good thing because it helps establish that, okay, well, now when other people come to go and look at that home, if you decide to walk away because it's coming way over, or it's coming way under what they're trying to get for it, and that kind of helps other folks in the area too, but it kind of hurts at the same time, because then, you know, they might go and have to readjust their stuff, but you've already dealt with them and now they know you, and they maybe don't want to accept your offer now because of, you know, you hurt them in the pocket. So there can be some hurt feelings there, but that's neither here nor there. And so if we look at all the angles of the appraisal thing, it's a very important piece when it comes to making an offer. It protects you. It can in some ways protect the seller if they don't want to come down on their price and they're just stuck in their way about it. They might find another offer by not electing to cure it and, you know, canceling the contract. They might be able to find another buyer who's willing to pay them that extra 25 grand in this particular example we were talking about. So, you know, it can help you and hurt you. More often it's more protection for you, because you don't want to get in a situation where, you know, you're on the hook for 25 grand that you might not have, because you still have to factor in, you have closing costs you're going to have to account for. You have some other fees that you may have to pay depending on your state. It could be a lot of money that you don't actually have extra to put towards other stuff, because now you got to come up with that 25 grand. And it's not like you can go out and get a second lien right away either. That stuff typically won't fly very well, especially when the underwriters come into play. They're going to look and see, oh, you opened up more stuff. Well, now we have to reconsider, you know, giving you the loan. So you can shoot yourself in the foot if you try and skirt the things there, because that stuff all reports one way or another, and having two liens on the same home at the same time is different than, say, getting a home equity mortgage or a home equity loan later down the road when you've actually built some equity into the property. So it's a different type of thing, and it just won't fly, so I wouldn't even recommend trying it. I mean, you can, if you're comfortable and you can make the swing on that extra gap up there, cool. Go right ahead. You know, that's how a lot of houses are getting won these days, where they're able to pay way over market value, and the appraisal comes in lower, but they're willing to pay up to that whatever they offered, you know, with escalation clauses and all kinds of fun stuff. So there's no harm in paying that if you can afford to do so. Just make sure you've covered yourself, and you know what you need for closing and all of that, because you don't want to get caught short and, you know, with your pants down, that you don't know what to do now because, you know, it's closing day and you don't have enough funds, because that can kill a deal real quick, and then everybody leaves unhappy, right? So that's the appraisal contingency. I hope that makes sense to you and isn't too confusing. You are welcome to ask me some questions if you have any. I'll be happy to answer them. But until the next time, guys, have a good one. Stay safe, stay positive, and stay blessed. Take care.